Are you thriving? Are you happy? Are you feeling like your most expansive, truest self? Welcome to the Words of Wisdom podcast. This is the place to be to raise the consciousness within in order to create a life and business of ease, flow, and freedom. This podcast offers inspiring stories, strategies, and special guests to help you become your most aligned self. I am Minerva Maharaj, a former NBA Toronto Raptors dancer turned ICF accredited spiritual life coach, founder of Goddess of Wisdom Spiritual Life Coaching, and Star Seed Academy coach training. My soul's mission is to show you the impossible is truly possible. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Let's get to awakening your soul's wisdom. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Words of Wisdom. I'm so grateful to have you here. Today, I want to offer this episode to those who are desiring to create a life of meaningful work, rest, and wealth without having to sacrifice one or the other. You can rest and have wealth. You can have meaningful work and rest at the same time. And you can work, rest, and have wealth. You can have it all. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to lead those who want to have it all and create an expansive life for themselves from the infinite space of themselves. Now, what does that mean? And that's what I want to offer you in today's episode. How do you create the life that you want for yourself that is full of meaningful work, that is full of rest, that is full of wealth? One thing that I find is very important and maybe block you from creating the life that you want is caring too much about what other people think or say. Caring about what your spouse has to say, caring about what your family might say of how much money you were to bring in, if they're aware of how much money you have, or the type of life that you want to have, afraid of being judged if you were to work and rest, or to rest and still receive money and be judged that you're not working hard enough, or being afraid to go against what other people are doing with building their businesses and how they run their careers and how much they work or how hard they work, and feeling like you can't match up to that. You can't live up to that. So you just keep pushing and pushing, trying to be that, trying to match that level and that standard that other people live up to for themselves and have set for themselves. And the problem with doing that is that if it serves you, number one, great. If that serves you, if that makes you thrive and come alive and feel expansive and you're full of energy, full of creativity, and you're serving at the highest level and you are receiving by doing what you are doing, receiving in return. If you are a contribution to other people and you're receiving contributions back into your life, then you're doing something right, in my opinion. But if you are wanting to make an impact in the world, either through a business or through your workplace, or even if you are at home, there's nothing not just at home. Like if you're a stay-at-home mom, absolutely incredible. And that's friggin' hard work. Your capacity that you're in, you can make an impact. It doesn't have to be that you need to be a famous person or be on TV or need to be a coach. It doesn't mean that. Whatever capacity you are serving in, you can make an impact. And in that capacity that you're in, are you thriving? Are you happy? Are you feeling like your most expansive, truest self? Because if you're not, then something is off. And you want to take a look at how much weight you are placing on other people's expectations, standards, and rules that they have placed on themselves, on their business, on their money, in their personal life. I'll give a personal example of this. For me, I run two businesses, Star Seed Academy coach training and my coaching business. And so I'm running two businesses. I have two kids at home. I'm married. We have a house. And obviously have a lot going on. And last year I reached a point of burnout and even PTSD where I didn't even want to go back to the way I was running my business last year. I'll say that for another podcast, but I did share that in a live recently. But I was living up to, I gotta work, 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 and keep going. And in human design, I was actually running my life and my business as a generator. And that those are sacral beings. They have this ongoing life force energy. And the way I look at generators are like energizer bunnies. And that's what I'm surrounded at home. My son, my daughter, my husband, they're all manifesting generators or generators. So we have these sacral beings running around in the house. And for myself, I'm a non-sacral being. I am a manifester in human design, which means I don't have this consistent sacral energy. I don't have this consistent life force energy. And it occurred to me this year that, well, I actually knew this last year, coming out of last year, but really deepened into this knowledge even more and started extracting the wisdom from it, that I was running my life and picking up the energies and picking up the beliefs and the standards and the rules of generators. And our world is run by, it's like 70% generators, I believe. I may be 60 or 70. Don't quote me on that. And I've been running my life as a generator, running my businesses as a generator. And what that led me to do is lead to burnout, get some PTSD from my last year of business, and even started sabotaging, or not even sabotaging, that's not the right word, avoiding certain things. And some people may even look at it like laziness, or yes, I was procrastinating certain things because I just felt so overwhelmed and I didn't want to go back to the way I was running my businesses from last year. So the point of all of that is that unconsciously, and even on some level, I thought that's what I had to do consciously. That's how I have to keep going. That's how I need to work. I need to finish these tasks. I need to do and work the way other people are doing and running their businesses if I want to be successful. But again, that just leads to burnout. That leads to procrastination. That leads to self-sabotage. That leads to not getting the results that I want. That just leads to me being unhappy and me not being my true divine self. And I'm not able to then serve to the highest level and fulfill and live in alignment to my mission, to my passion, and live up to my fullest capacity. So, why am I saying this all to you? I'm saying this to you to check yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. I'm saying this to you because if you have a clear vision of what it is you want, or even if you just deep down in your soul or in your energetic being, you sense and feel and crave the life that you want, chances are that is this expansive life. Freedom on some level, freedom in your money, freedom in your energy, freedom in your time, freedom and making an impact in what you do, whatever form you do, whatever line of work that you do. It's expansive and it makes you feel alive. It makes you feel like you. It makes you feel like you're here on purpose. So you have that vision, you have that feeling, but how often do you feel like you're living in alignment to that? And if you are feeling more often that constriction, restriction, some dread, some heaviness, some burnout, it's because you're living up to other people's expectations, their beliefs, their point of views, their energy levels, their sacral energy. There. Other people's point of views, other people's realities. So you want to check in with yourself and ask yourself, if you can run your life and business any way you want, any way you possibly can, what would you choose? If there were no rules, if there was no right or wrong, you can just choose right now. And even like if it just took literally a switch, like a light switch, if you were able to just switch it on like that, what would you choose? Would you choose the force? Would you choose burning yourself out? Would you choose, oh, well, once the kids are down, I have to go work? If you're doing it from have to, are you doing it from have to, or are you doing it because you desire to? There's a difference. So you want to check, where are you living up to other people's expectations, their point of views, their realities that they've created for themselves, their standards, and start creating your own standards, creating your own way. How do you want to live your life? How do you want that to feel? How do you want to build your business if you are in business? Or how do you want your work life days to feel like? What's the balance there for you? What makes you feel like you? What makes you come alive? Because the truth of the matter is, what it is that we're really afraid of is being different. We're afraid of being judged for being different. We're afraid that we may fail if we do things differently. We're afraid we may not live up to good enough if we were to allow ourselves to be who we truly are. We're afraid to be different. And if you were brave enough and willing to be different, willing is just enough to get started. If you are willing to do things differently with your parenting, with your business, with your day, with how you live your life. For me, one of the biggest things that I was judged for is the amount of money I received, because I was being viewed from people around me of like, oh, you're just flashing your money. You're just talking about your money all the time. You're talking about it on Instagram too much. It made people feel uncomfortable. And even when I didn't talk about it, I was around environments that judged people with money. So unconsciously, I pulled myself back because who wants to be judged? But one of my favorite sayings as an Access Bar practitioner and facilitator is that every time when you allow judgment, you get 10 grand richer. When you resist judgment, you get 5 grand poorer. That's from Access Consciousness. And I thought that first I didn't get that, but now it hits like that hits home for me now. If you allowed yourself to be judged, in other ways, allowed yourself to be you, you will be wealthy on so many levels. Wealth of health, wealth of energy, wealth of ideas, wealth of creativity, wealth of money. You would actually open up a whole new portal of wealth on every level. But every time you resist it, every time you dim your light, every time you squish yourself up to fit into a box and reach a certain standard of how much you should work or how hard you should work or the way you should work, you minimize yourself. You're giving into those judgments. And you're minimizing the flow of wealth in your life on every level. So how willing are you to be different? How willing are you to be different? And what if being different was the change you needed in your life and in your business and the change the world needs? I really hope this resonates with you. As always, screenshot this and share and let me know, or even reach out to me on Instagram and let me know how this resonates with you. If you're ready to take this one step further, I'm excited to share with you Eat, Meditate, Love retreats are back. And our next retreat is happening next year, January 20th to 22nd in Port Severn, Ontario. This meditation is about creating the life you want from the infinite space of you. We're going to be clearing the blocks that's holding you back from being your infinite, big, bold self. We're going to be activating the frequency of you so that you're creating your life intentionally and attracting the life that you want. And we're going to be creating a solid plan that feels the most authentic and aligned to who you are so that you can accelerate your goals for 2023. We're doing early bird for December 20th for $500 for retreat registration. And then it goes up to $650. So go to goddessofwisdom.ca/eat, meditate, love to register for a spot today. Thank you all for listening. Sending you so much love and light.